General Motors says it's going to take risk on your behalf, yes, you, if you buy a GM EV, because it believes that in the future, it's going to make the money back. So it's going to put the money in now, meaning it's going to make a loss on its electric car that it sells to you. That's the risk. In the hopes in the future, it can make a profit from you. I like this strategy, but it is risky. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. Great to see you. My name's Sam Evans, and I'm coming to you from Melbourne in Australia. Just come back from Launceston, which is in Tasmania. My boys were there racing at the national championships. There was 2 races, right? The first one, it was the final round of the National Cup competition. My son Jack, he's 9 years old, and he was racing. He was in the semi-final, and he was, well, basically on the last corner. He was in place to make the final, and he slid and crashed on the final corner. And he was in tears big time when he finished. He got up as soon as he could, but by then everyone had passed him, and he was devastated. Fortunately, on the actual day of the national championship, he did much, much better. Enough about me. General Motors, what are they doing? They say they're going to price their electric cars on par with gasoline cars. That's what they're saying. Mark Roos said it. Basically said those words. He said they're in it for the long game. I actually like GM's strategy. Some of the stuff they're saying, it doesn't add up. It's like pie in the sky, fanciful. We think in the future this magical thing will happen, therefore it's going to happen. I sometimes think that, like I do that with things, and I think, oh, you know what? It's going to take me an hour to film this video. It takes me 10 hours. And I really knew all along that, I was being massively overly optimistic. You ever do that? I think GM are doing that a little bit here, but I don't care. So what? If they're willing to make a loss of, I don't know, billions of dollars a year in order to get market share, to sell EVs to the public, I'm all for it. That's going to bring down the price of EVs. That's going to bring up, what's going to happen in North America? What's happening? What's about to happen? We're on the precipice of, I believe, the greatest period in technological innovation in North America. You're probably thinking, nah, that's bogus. I mean, what happened? The age of the industrial age is finished in North America. No, it's not. Look at the billions of dollars. We're looking at hundreds of billions being invested over the next decade into manufacturing, into EVs, into what else? Automation, all kinds of things. Remember, California's economy will be the 4th biggest in the world within the next 18 months. Now, I'm not just talking about California. I mean, most of these factories are not being built in California. So put all this together, you're going to have a gold rush. This is going to be the golden age. Clearly, you have to look at the logic here. The logic says we're entering the golden age of innovation and development. Now, the question is, can GM pull this off? Can they actually sell at a loss, which is clearly what they've disclosed? They're saying they're not going to make a profit until 2025, they hope, on electric cars. Can they pull off this game, this long game? It's a cool game. I really like what they're saying they're going to do. But, like I said, Mary Barra and her promises, well, she continues to break them, doesn't she? She said that by now, as in last month, General Motors would have about 19 different electric car models for sale. When I say models, I mean like different actual models, not just variants of one model. 19 different ones. They said that back in 2018. Well, obviously, they don't have that many models. And they've also given their sales projections that they were very confident on, very, very confident on when they were quizzed on those numerous times. And they just changed them. They said, oh, no, that's for 2 years now. Will they continue to do that in the future? I hope not. Let's hope so. General Motors is thinking long term. As it prices its upcoming electric vehicles, they're steering clear of opportunistic pricing in favor of a lineup spanning segments and price points. The Detroit automaker is banking on customers switching from gasoline-powered cars to EVs, even though it seems on the forums, the GM forums, my goodness, go on there. They don't. I hope that GM can convince some of these rednecks or these crazy people to get an EV. Hopefully their friends can say, mate, I've got an electric pickup truck. It kills your gas-powered piece of junk. I think that's probably what's going to happen. But GM does have a tough time to convince some of their market. You got to remember, Tesla's market, they're more people who are more technologically savvy, probably more wanting to move that way. I think a lot of GM's market, they're going to be a tougher sell to start with. Once the ball gets rolling, though, it'll happen fast. Now, while research is saying that right now consumers are willing to pay an initial price premium for an EV, even though the long-term cost is going to be lower, they're willing to pay that initial extra cost. GM doesn't want to turn off prospective EV buyers by pricing its vehicles too high, says President Mark Roos. Are we baking that premium in on every single product and every segment and taking advantage of that? The answer is no. We really look at each customer, each segment. The willingness to do that is a little bit different, he said. We've got to remain the automaker who reduces friction for buying an EV product of our own, whether it's through price, package, design, usability, range, all of those things. And, well, let's be fair. Who else is selling EVs at an affordable price in North America, right? Who else is selling EVs for $25,000 in North America right now? Not really anyone, right? The Bolt and the Bolt EUV are really compelling considering their price point. The only key here, the key issue, I believe, is availability. I've made videos saying, hey, look, you can get the Bolt EUV and the Bolt EV for these prices. Look at all the prices that GM are advertising. Look at the prices in each state. There's all these incentives they're offering. You can get them for around $21,000 in some states. Crazy. But then people are messaging me, I can't get it, 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 I can't get it. When do I stop? Because I have received so many of these emails. So many. That's the problem. Dealers. GM can say everything they want, right? About Silverado electric cars being affordable, about the new Equinox EV being affordable, but dealers have to come to the party. They've got to agree to sell these vehicles at the price General Motors is saying they should be selling them at, MSRP. CEO Mary Barra told investors that this month to pay attention to the Cadillac Lyriq midsize crossover already on sale and the forthcoming Chevy Equinox, Blazer, and Silverado, and GMC Sierra EVs as core and critical to our EV growth strategy through 2025. Now, I personally find Mark Roos's comments maybe a bit more credible simply because of the fact that in the past, he seems to have made comments which are more likely to actually be correct. But Mary Barra said GM's job is to offer really good vehicles at appropriate segment pricing that doesn't cost anybody any more money than they're willing to pay to go into an internal combustion engine vehicle. It's our job to deliver the commercial value to be able to do that as margins that were similar or in some cases above what we did on ICE vehicles. Being opportunistic or episodic with pricing is not what we're doing. We're in the long game and we're going to create customers for life. Now, when he says that we're going to create customers for life, it just reminds me of when General Motors have said over the past 12 months, we're going to make billions of dollars from subscription fees. We're going to have all these different subscription models and pricing and all these different features and options. And you can pay this much for a subscription. If you want to get this extra feature, you pay more. And GM claim they're going to be making about $40 every week from subscriptions. I'm not completely buying what they're saying here about affordability because they're saying that about 50% of their profits are going to come from subscriptions, which, well, I don't know, but I have heard reports that people have gone into dealers and kind of been forced into getting these subscriptions. I don't know if that's true. Let me know what your experience is in the comments or send me an email. GM have also said they're going to keep an eye on reservations to avoid having to raise prices on consumers waiting in line. GM only collected reservations for one model year of the Cadillac Lyriq, even though demand existed for more, because the automaker couldn't predict the cost to build a 2024 model year vehicle. Or in other words, they don't want to take a deposit for a car they sell. They're going to sell, let's say they're going to sell the vehicle at $50,000 in 2023. They don't want to have to sell it at that price in 2024. They want to be able to sell it for more than that. But I thought GM was saying the price for them was going to come down by 60%. That's what they've said, right? Their manufacturing costs are going to come down by 60% for the batteries. So I'm not really sure why they wouldn't actually think that's a good strategy. Because if their costs are coming down and they're still getting paid the same amount from a customer, it sounds like a good deal to me. So that's confusing. Jacobson said, we weren't going to make the mistakes that others have, go and have to change prices on somebody who's already ordered a vehicle. Now, I thought for a minute here they were saying they were going to take a risk on customers' behalf, but now they're saying they don't want to have to go and change prices on a customer as a result of the price to them increasing. But they're confident they can bring the prices down. seems to be a little bit of a contradiction here. In fact, not a little bit, a lot of a contradiction. Now, I do hope General Motors will pull this off, that they can sell electric cars on parity with gasoline-powered cars. Do I think they can do it? Yes. In their time frame? No, I don't think they can. I think they can probably sell some, let's say 20%, where they'll make a loss on. But if they were to turn around tomorrow and start selling EVs in all of their cars, let's say all of their cars that they sold from tomorrow onwards for the next 2 years were only electric, and they sold them at the same price as they do their gasoline models, then they would be probably bankrupt within that period of time. That's not possible. How many EVs can they sell at these prices? I don't know. Can they bring their prices down to the point where they make a profit on them in 2025 and still sell them on par with gasoline-powered cars? No, that's just fantasy. General Motors are fantasizing that that'll happen. It won't happen. Can they do it in 2030? I think they can. And I think they will. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye.